Hey y'all, today we have this 2009 Sea Hunt center console in. First we're going to go ahead and take the decals off. We're taking all this off, all the pinstripe on the bottom. He also wants the decals off on the outboard. So after that we're going to do a hull wash. It's pretty dirty under there, and we're also doing a full detail. So I will do a video covering this whole entire boat, so make sure you stay tuned. All right, now we're starting to do the decal removal process. You can use a heat gun or an eraser wheel. We did use a heat gun on most of it. Well, actually some of it, and then the rest we did have to use the eraser wheel. So be prepared, and you must be strong in order to use the eraser wheel because it will drag your body around everywhere. All right, we got all the decals off. Now we're going in with the Starbright Instant Hull Cleaner. It's the gel formula. So the good thing about that is it doesn't go all in the air. You don't breathe it in as much. So you just want to spray it on there, let it sit, say for a few minutes. If you're in the sun, it won't take as long. So we're going to spray all the bottom. Then we're going to get underneath the boat. Then we're going to wash the boat with the Dawn dish soap. All right, it's a new day, and now we're starting with wet sanding while Barry's doing the bottom with the DA polisher. I'm going to do the whole entire top white strip by hand, because usually on these center consoles it's a lot easier to do it by hand. So I'm going to start off with 800 grit and finish off with 1000. Now since we started polishing with the yellow wool pad, you don't really have to worry about finishing up to 2,000 and 3,000 grit like we have in our recent videos for all the people that have been watching us. So if you're gonna polish with the yellow wool pad and finish off with the DA, or even on a rotary with the foam pad, you don't have to worry about finishing up high. But if you are working with dark gel coat, I would recommend finishing up high. It's really just up to you. But anyways, here's our 800 grit. I got a piece of like a sponge in here. Anything will work. It's flexible, so I can get in the cracks real easy. And what I'm doing is I'm just doing a few passes with my palm. And then in here, right here, I'm going in with my fingers. So I'm bending it like that, and I'm doing a couple strokes back and forth. Then I rinse out my pad, do another section, do two by two sections, and change out your pad. So let's go ahead and finish up. Alright, y'all, got the whole top known 800 grit. Now I'm going in with 1000 as a foam back piece. This is Sun Foam brand. You can find this on Amazon or your local body shop store. You don't want to use this soaking wet. If you do, it's going to be too much water in between your disc and the surface, and it won't cut the way it should. So make sure it's not too wet, and this don't really have to be that wet at all, just barely missed it. And do every 2 to 3 sections, change it out. Then we'll start compounding and polishing. Now look how bright that white is where he's already wet sanded. And we did use hole cleaner on this, but it was still just so bad and so dry, and I'm sure it's been in salt water, so that doesn't help either. It's coming. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and start compounding the top. Barry's finishing up the bottom with 1000. Now, the kind of tape I use, this tape will not leave any glue residue at all. This is 3M precision tape. I think it's about $15 or $20 at the part store. This works really good. You can leave it on for days in the sun and it will not leave sticky residue behind. So we are going to start off with level R. We got the gallon bucket, our 3M real wool pad with the 3M quick connect and the DeWalt rotary. So what I'm going to do is start in sections at a time, 2 by 2 sections, finish my way all the way down, do the same with the blue, and then we're going to wash it off and then polish it because I don't want any compound residue on there when I go to polish. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, and this is how much is in this whole entire bucket. I like it better than the 32-ounce bottle. I mean, if you're doing this in your own boat, the bottle is best, but when you do this for a living, like we do, the bucket is better and you'll save more money. Let's go ahead and put it on. I would set the tripod off and show y'all everything like better step by step, but my tripod broke. So I'm doing what I can do to make sure you bear with me. And you want to use just a little bit. Definitely when you stand up high, because the surface is really smooth and it spreads very easily. That's good. And the only time I tape off the rub rail is if it's black. So you still got to be careful around it so you don't burn it with your pad. I'll make sure I get in this crack. Very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the DeWalt and I'm going to tilt it. Now I'm going to start on 1000 RPMs. You can start on 600 or you can start on 1000. Tilt it, give it a lot of pressure. Not too much, but give it enough pressure so it cuts through the sanding scratches and everything. And then you're going to finish off on about 1200 RPM, flatter than what you were doing. So when you're working in, you want to have it tilted. When you're working it out smooth, have the pad a lot flatter than what you had it the first time. Okay, so this is as much as you want to use. You don't want to use too much. I've already got all the way down there. I'm going to have to take the mini buffer to get in there the best I can, because you can't take that thing out. This is bolted underneath. So this is all you want to do. Spread it on there nice and evenly. Now I did tape off that chrome right here because it was getting on my pad. Okay. Now I'm going to start on 1000 and I'm going to keep it tilted and I'm going to give it enough pressure to cut out these scratches. Now I come from this. And that's it. And if you look right in the sun, it's got holograms in there. You don't want to leave the holograms. And this boat does have spider cracks, so if you ever plan on repairing spider cracks or any kind of gel coat chips or anything, make sure you restore it first, because this is a totally different white than the chalked white. So you want to make sure you restore that first. Just like right here, we found a repair spot that somebody's done recently. It doesn't even match the gel coat now. Now we haven't compounded it yet, but still it doesn't match at all, and you're going to be able to see it once you restore it. So make sure you restore first, then do your repair spots. All right, now we're done compounding this side. We went ahead and washed it off with Dawn dish soap. So we had all that residue off. Now we're gonna come in here and tackle these swirl marks and holograms left behind by the compound and that wool pad. All right, so I'm gonna show you the simple step with the DeWalt and yellow wool pad with Finish R. It's so much faster than just using a regular DA. So let's go ahead and put some on here. You don't want to use too much. You want to shake the bottle up real good. You put it on the pad, or you can just do it like this. It don't really matter. Just 2 by 2 sections at a time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work it in on 1200, and then I'm going to finish off as flat as possible to 24 to 2600 RPMs.
To the left, finish to the left.
Yes, and you do want to finish off to the left. This is actually something we just figured out not too long ago. If you finish off to the left, pick it up, and then do it again, you won't have no swirl pattern. Make sure we got all those swirl marks burned out. And when you're done polishing the boat, you want to make sure you do the same thing. Wash it with Dawn dish soap, because you're still going to have residue on here.
Almost flawless.
All right, and there we go. Like Barry said, it is almost flawless. We just got that micro marring in there. I didn't get right there. I got up here. Right here, let's see where we stopped. Didn't get over here. See, did not get right there at all. There's still residue on here. So then we're going to, for the first time, we're going to put the double-sided foam pad on the rotary. Usually we go in with the Roots polisher, but you don't want to leave it just like that. I mean, you can if you like it like that, if that's good enough for you, but we're going to finish off with the foam pad. All right, y'all, we're about finished up with polishing on the side. Then we're gonna wash it and seal it. but I will show you how to use this foam pad with ignition on the rotary, and it is so much faster than a DA polish. So let's go ahead and show you a spot.
I was on break.
You just want to put a few little dots on there because this stuff is very thin and liquidy, so you don't need too much. And you only want to go from 15 to 1800 RPMs. Got it on just like that. I promise it spreads really, really easy. You don't have to worry about going in a spot for too long, because all this is doing is cutting out the holograms from the yellow wool pad. Any micro marring. But y'all know we go for perfection, so we will put in that extra step to get the best results possible. So you want to do it about 2 passes, and then you're good. Now you can either wipe off the residue or you can wash it off. What we're going to do is we're going to wash it off with going into this soap, dry it, and seal it into the other side. That's it. Make it as professional as possible. Make sure you get the reflection on the brush head. Now focus on the ball of foam. Alright, now we're going to wash off all this polish residue. No, it don't have to be the name brand on. Off-brand will work. It's gonna work. Alright, let's put plenty of that in there. Now we're going to have to defrost the mitts because it's been freezing around here lately. I'm gonna rip off the boat before we wash it. Dry it and seal it. Alright, that's it. We got it sealed and it is done and it looks amazing. Except for that repair spot. See, told you don't ever repair before you restore. We went in with Stark Hyper Hold Pro Sealant. You just want to put a little bit on there when you're doing it by hand. Use an applicator pad. Remember how chalked it was up here? It looks amazing now. Now, look at the inside, it's all chalked. The customer's not having the inside restored, but we are gonna do a full detail and I will have another video on that. Look at that, that looks amazing. Looks good, don't it, Barry? Yes, she is. Looks really good. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is vacuum up all these leaves so that when we go to wash the floor and the seats, leaves and dirt don't go everywhere. Definitely on the fresh gel coat that we just restored. Check all the compartments for anything you need to vacuum out. If you do this, it'll be a lot faster when you go to clean it. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, now y'all, we're working on the non-skid with Stark Venom. This works very great on non-skid. So what I'm going to do is put some on my sponge. You can use any kind of applicator pad. And you just rub it on there and you let it sit. This takes off rust spots, tanning stains, water spots, all that good stuff. We're gonna get back here in the corner. We're just gonna let it sit and saturate for a few minutes, and I'm gonna come in with the pressure washer and rinse it off, but you can already see it making a huge difference.